we're blessed here with, the staff. Even to get this going, what you're gonna see right here with what we did there. Oh, that's right. He was outside the last time. You talked to him about his shoes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a teacher, but he's like a coach to me, but teacher to everybody else. But what made him the best was he knew how to act towards the people, like the kids that he was around, like as far as the players. Like he knew how do I say this? He knew what some of the stuff like that the kids were going through, like some low income, or they didn't have like a father figure or a mother figure or however you want to call it. So he knew how to play that role, and he knew how to act just like us, like he could match our qualities and our behaviors, and he acted just as that. So it kind of made him the best. Like he would play that father role to some kids who didn't have a father, and I have a father, and he still was like another father to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like an activity, but I would like to see more of us, like black kids, be together, because I know I'm here at this school, but I don't know a lot of black people like that, and I would like to get to know like all my black people. So I feel like we could have a group or activity where it's young black kings and queens who are together, getting to know each other, how to like respect one another, not give off this energy that people think we are, the ignorance, and show them that we're something different, like we've been doing this for generations.
Because one of the things that we want to do in our office, Equity and Targeted Student Achievement, is create a series of videos. So this discussion we hope could be really, really illuminating. And there are some other pieces that are part of the campaign as well. So in January, we'll have a similar fishbowl discussion, but with teachers and staff members. Directors will be here in January to talk some more about our work across the departments. And then in March, there will be another discussion, but that will be with parents and students. And so we'll be filming those pieces as well. And again, our goal is to really have a series of focused conversations around what's working and what's improving outcomes for African American students. So I'll start with the first question here, and anybody can jump in, and I'll pass the mic. What actions did you engage in that improved outcomes for African American students?
I think at Sierra High School, what I attribute this blessing of the success is our very intentional focus on student wellness. I'm going to make a shameless plug and invite all of you to come check out our wellness center. We've established a wellness center, and that work actually started about 2 years ago. And so it's still growing, obviously, but there is research that supports that school-based health centers, when it's a redundancy, but when they're in school-based centers actually help the academic growth of students. So we kind of ran with that. It helps attendance and other social determinants. So we've really run with that, and so almost ironically, obviously we focus on academics, but our very intentional and purposeful focus has been on overall student wellness. Thank you. So what we're going to walk into is our wellness wing, and then once we get in there, I can explain what it was before and what it is now.
What we got on today?
And
we got the 7 going. How you doing?
Good. How are you? I'm gonna aim this one more towards like administration, especially considering I want to be an administrator at a school. I think they need to make an extra effort to speak to us, not just when we're in their office for like consequences. They need to be more like coaches, kind of meet us, compliment us, encourage us, and support us, instead of just getting in our face about something we did wrong or something, just hyping us up along the way.
More like life coaches than administrators.
Yeah.
One of the things that I do attribute our growth for our African American students is the relationship building with staff. I don't believe that most students will learn from somebody that they don't trust, that they don't think believes in them, that they don't feel cared about by. And so we've done a lot at our school around an advisory period where every student is assigned to an advisory, and that's kind of their go-to person. So our idea is that every student on campus will have a go-to person. We've done a lot of things to make sure that every student on campus is connected to somebody. And then in addition to that, we have hard conversations. So if I go into a room and I see that a student has his head down, and it's an African American student, and then I look to the left and I see that there's another African American student in the class and he has his head down too. I talked to that teacher and I said, I went into your classroom and I noticed 2 of your African American boys had their heads down. Why is that? What's going on in there? And sometimes the teacher will say, I try every day and I don't know what to do. And sometimes I tell them, I said that the one day that you stop trying is when that student hears that you no longer care about them.
We had a walkthrough with an outside consultant this Wednesday, and I asked her at the end of the day, I said, I want you to talk to me about what you saw with our African American students. What did you see as an outsider so you can help me give better feedback with our teachers? And she told me that one of the things that she noticed school-wide was that our students, our African American students, seemed like they were part of the classroom, that they had positive relationships with the adults in the school, in the classroom, during passing. And that was something that she did notice throughout the whole day. We were in classrooms all day long from 7:40 to 2:11. So that was something that she did notice on the relationship building.
So what are the things that the teachers are doing in the classroom that might have impacted the learning of African American students?
One thing we did first and foremost is we instituted a no opt-out policy. Everybody participates every day, no matter what. And we increased engagement by targeting lessons at students' academic levels. And we brought the level of rigor in the classroom to a much, much higher level. So all students were accessing curriculum at a much higher level.
We implemented Mindful Monday every Monday, which we dedicate 30 minutes every Monday to incorporate activities that will help them learn self-managing skills, because students going home for the weekend, coming back, they come from 2 different worlds, so making sure they come back to a world of academics and they are able to learn and ready to learn. And the strategies we use are breathing strategies to help them go to their happy place. So we implemented that every Monday, and we continue to do so this year. We're a turnaround art school, so we implemented a lot of strategies, arts integration strategies, so our students are able to participate in math using dance, movement, song. So they do poetry. So there was we used the strategy Tableau, which is a freeze-frame art strategy.
What do you recommend that teachers do to help you achieve at high levels?
I feel like the teachers, like I said, they should come to you and help you besides telling you what you need to work on. Because if you're just telling the student what they need to work on, clearly it's not going to help, because they won't be in a situation for them to be needing to work on that. So I feel like they should go to the student and give them that help, like, come to tutoring, because a lot of students don't know, like some teachers, a lot of teachers stay after school for tutoring. I didn't know my math teacher does tutoring until she was like, you should come to tutoring. After that, I come to tutoring like every day or every other day when I have time, and then that helped my grade boost up. And now I'm in tutoring every day after school, with needing or not needing help. I'm still in there so I can know the curriculum that we're learning.
And you all are taking very different approaches, but at all of your schools, there's very high expectations for learning, right? Black kids, they're not allowed to put their heads down. They're not allowed to opt out. They're not allowed to, the teachers look at them and have high expectations and assume and believe and think that they can do well. And so because they think that kids do well, right? So I'm hearing that's very clear. Next question, how do you use data to improve outcomes for African American students?
A lot of times in education, we look at what's not working, and so you get your lists of D's and F's students and the teachers with the highest levels of D's and F's, which you saw there's a lot of D's and F's in our district. And so last year what we did was I pulled together a group of teachers that had higher than average grades for students, and we looked at it by subgroup, we looked at it by subject area, grade level, etc. And we met together and said, what are you doing differently? What's going well in your class? How is this happening? What kind of grading scale do you use? How do you grade student work?
What we do is if a student in any 6-week block does not pass does not pass more than 2 classes, they immediately meet with their counselor. And that's every kid that didn't pass, more than 2. And from there, it can trigger other meetings that we have RISE meetings, restorative interventions for student excellence, where we bring the whole team together. So, if a student does not pass more than 2 immediately, they have a meeting with their counselor, and then we take it from there.
Like they said, she treated us like family, like we were her own, not just bribing us with things or anything, but actually sitting down, talking to us, getting to know each other, having the class, getting to know each other so it wouldn't be awkward. Because still, I know like some of us are in class and we still don't know half of our class.
How do you engage African American students in their learning?
We have spent a lot of time and effort in our library building culturally relevant books and doing things of that nature and encouraging our students to celebrate their cultures. All of our students, and especially our African American students, engaging them at their levels and bringing them up to where they can succeed every day.
We have an annual musical every year. Last year we had Aladdin, and 2 out of 3 of our main characters were African American students. So they try out, they go through the whole process. So just engaging in theater. So they want to be in school because there's so many things going on and they don't want to miss out, especially when their peers are performing or when they're performing. They want to be there at school, and they participate in the class with the arts integration that transfers out into the playground and everywhere else when they are engaging in arts and dance during the school week.
How can we connect to y'all better?
Well, I believe that the administrators and teachers, they shouldn't talk down on us, because we know that they're adults. Like, we're in high school now, we're becoming young adults, we're about to go off to be living our lives. But it's just the fact, like, many of the administrators, they talk down on you like you like their child and you're doing wrong. But really, some students just need like the comfort knowing to be able to talk to you without being like lectured all the time, or like they have to be positive.